and
gorgeous. I didn't see what.
Oh, I don't know, something like
I said the finest.
1,600 stitches of picot bind-off she had to do. Hello, and welcome to Yarn Story. I'm Carmen.
And I'm Kayleigh.
And look at that, we did that very professionally.
We did. It's like we prepared, but we didn't.
We almost prepared.
We almost prepared. We actually chatted this time before of what we were gonna do.
So welcome to our knitting podcast. I have no idea what episode we're on.
Yeah, I feel like it must be 7.
It might be 7.
I think it's 7.
Season 3 for sure.
Season 3, episode 7.
Yes.
But it's been a while since I've been on the podcast.
Yes, and it's been even longer since we've been together.
Yes, it's been like 3 episodes, I think.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Because you and Susan did an episode.
The classic, iconic, what will be iconic.
Oh yes, the audio only episode. No, you and I did one together after that.
Yeah, we did.
And
Actually,
then
yeah, we did do that. And then
I did one with Beverly because I promised her she could come to
Yeah.
season 3.
Mm-hmm.
And
And then I had COVID
yeah,
after Taylor Swift.
yeah. So then Susan came on board again.
Yes. Yeah.
I was very close to needing to replace myself this week.
I know. We were worried that Carmen might have COVID too. It's out there. It's lurking.
Yeah, it is lurking. But I just had a regular old cold.
Mm-hmm.
So go me. That's why I'm a little stuffy sounding.
You've got that like sexy voice. The sexy cold voice.
Like the Phoebe.
Yeah.
I will not start singing Smelly Cat. That's good for no one. Although, someone did get me to sing last weekend, but I'll talk about that later.
Ooh,
Let's start with what you're
exciting.
wearing.
What I'm wearing. So I'm wearing the Olive Top by Pernille Lawson of Knitting for Olive. And it is in their pure silk. So this was actually the top I was knitting when I interviewed with Carmen.
Ah, yes.
Well, actually, I was knitting it, so I didn't wear it to the interview, but yeah. And then she had me write a blurb about a yarn to like test
That we
my
didn't
skills.
carry. Yeah.
Yeah, that she didn't carry, as if it was going to be featured on the website. And then she went and bought the yarn.
I did go and buy the yarn. I'm pretty sure we used your interview words on the website. So
there we go. It came in
you want to go see a sample of Kayleigh's writing?
Yeah, there we go.
Actually, I'm glad you're wearing this because I am working on mine.
Yeah.
And I want to do the straps before I finish the body so that I can sort of see.
I think this was a grafted with a 3 knittle. Yeah, it's an I-cord.
Okay.
Yeah, I-cord strap.
Did you do it on a smaller needle than the rest of it?
Testing my memory.
I don't know.
I don't think so, but I did do it on double-pointed needles.
Yeah.
I remember that. Whereas now I just do them on circulars, which isn't as handy.
No.
But when you're doing a strap, you kind of want to push back and forth.
Yes.
So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, because I was thinking mine's a much looser gauge than yours anyway, so I think I will probably, in order to like keep those straps on me, do it on like a smaller needle than the rest of it. I'm not really looking forward to that much I-cord.
Yeah. I thought it was going to be more annoying than it was, to be honest, but I actually remember, I think also too, this might have been like the first I-cord I ever did.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Okay. So, I think so. This was an early knit for me when I was coming back into knit life.
I put in one of those I-cord strings between mittens a couple of times early on, which is a really good idea, but it's a lot of I-cord.
Yeah, it is.
But it does keep you from losing your mittens.
Yeah.
You or children.
That's quite good.
Handy in all ways.
Yeah, so it turned out nicely.
Yeah.
I think if I did it again, I was really annoyed about this join in the middle. It's worse on the back, which is why I wear that on the back. See
Okay,
there?
yeah, I see.
It's a
what you
bit
mean.
loose. Whereas
Is it
this is
exactly
the
the
front.
same front and back.
I think
pattern.
so.
Yeah.
I was trying to figure it out this morning when I was putting it on. I was like, is there a front? Is there a back? I was like, I'm just going to put the side I like better on the front.
That works.
I was like, I think that's the thing that I decided to do. But it might be the same front and back. Although, it depends on the amount of stitches maybe underneath. I don't know. And then you can do a scalloped edge or you can just do a plain edge. And decided to do a plain edge because I typically tuck in my shirts anyway. But so that's why I did the plain edge at the end there. I wish I if I did it again, I'd do a scallop one just just for fun.
It's very cute. It's very versatile. I like it over the long sleeve top.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. I was going to wear it without the long sleeve top, and then I was like, ooh, it's kind of cold.
Yeah, it is raining and gray outside right now.
It's not nice.
It does not feel, but it is warmish. It's like,
it's humid is the thing. It's really gross, actually. Kind of reminds me of like swamp weather in DC, although it doesn't nearly rain as much as it has been.
I'm unfamiliar with swamp weather, but that feels like a good description. Yeah. What's going on?
I feel like you're in Shrek Swamp right now.
Yeah. I mean, this is why I don't have any knitwear on, because it's just...
it is.
I haven't finished my silk top yet, so here
exactly.
we are.
I know.
Shall we move on to the wine portion?
Sure. Yep. Right. So you
picked this week's bottle.
Yep. So we have San Teodoro by Massimo Lench, which is an interesting surname for Italy. But I think there are, though, a lot of people who have like maybe Germanish surnames in the north of Italy.
Yeah, definitely.
Actually, one of the this is a tangent, but one of the Wimbledon players, he was ranked number 1. His name was Yannick Sinner, and he's from Italy. And when you think about it, like you're like, oh, that's not going to be an Italian, but he is.
Right. Sorry.
But anyway,
you just saw me wave at 3 customers of ours that walked past the shop that I haven't seen in a really long time.
Oh, nice. We're all sorts of fun tangents today.
Yes.
Surprises.
Well, I'm just thinking,
store.
like, people are just gonna be like, "Why is she waving over there?" Yeah, that was. 'Cause we're sitting by the window. Well, I'm excited.
Yes. So I did look up actually. If you want to pour, I looked up.
We have our season 3 plastic cups with us today.
So the wine description reads. This is a superb example of Sicily's Nerello Mescalese grape, grown on the northern slope of Mount Etna's mineral-rich volcanic soil. The aroma is very fine and delicate, with expressive notes of small red currant and cherry fruits, wild spices, herbs, and cloves. On the palate, it is balanced and harmonious, well-structured, with minerality on the savory and persistent finish. So...
It sounds like my kind of wine.
Yeah, I know. It sounds like mine too.
Yeah.
I basically chose it because I love a lot of Sicilian reds that are basically kind of grown in the
I feel like Angus might have picked this just from the label. It's got kind of these, it looks a bit like string.
Oh, cool. Yeah.
I mean, I don't know if that's true, but
Yeah.
So this is from our sponsors, Wolf Wine.
You need to check out on Walcott Street in Bath.
Yes. They had a sherry tasting yesterday.
Yes, I know. I was thinking about messaging you to see if you wanted to go.
I was going to go, and then I was like, I was ill, so then I didn't.
Yeah, fair enough. They have something next week actually that I'm going to tell you about. It's at a cafe that's opening in Bath. So, anyway, and so it says this is delicious now and has the potential to age up to 10 years.
Ooh. Maybe we should have kept it.
Yes. Well, we can always go back and get some more. And then it says, try with wild mushroom and aubergine phyllo pastries.
Oh, that sounds delightful. I wish I had some wild mushroom and aubergine phyllo pastries.
All right, the tasting.
Sorry, I was ahead of you.
You can definitely smell the kind of red hedgerow kind of fruits.
Yeah.
But I do feel like it's got a bit more...
It's not super spicy smelling. Like, it's still on the lighter side of red.
It's definitely kind of, I think, what it says on the label of those kind of hedgerow fruits, really quite light, really good drinking for summer. Actually, it's a really good red for summer, I would say.
Yeah.
Kind of light, medium body.
Yes, it doesn't... I don't feel overwhelmed by its like intensity.
Yeah, it'd be good with pasta actually.
It'd be
like
really good pasta. I picked up some pasta from the Italian deli on my way here. I'm gonna make some fresh pesto tonight.
Nice, that'll be good.
We will probably not have this wine any longer for that dinner, but but it would go well with that dinner.
Maybe you need to pick up another bottle before you go home.
Maybe.
But yeah, really drinkable, really easy drinking wine. I would
like that.
definitely get multiple bottles of this.
Yeah, I could definitely see that
Yeah.
being a regular on my dinner table.
Definitely.
Thank you, Wolf Wine.
Yes, thank you.
Very nice. Right, so we haven't seen each other in ages. They haven't seen the two of us. So what have we been up to?
I've been doing a lot of work. I've got a big deadline on August 1st at work, and so it's been kind of crazy there. And then
Would you like to remind the people what you do?
I work for the Office for Students, which is the regulator of higher education in the UK. Or actually, I should say it's actually the regulator in England, because it's a devolved power that each of the different nations in the UK have their own organization that run their either regulator or funding body. So in Scotland, for instance, there isn't tuition fees, so they need less regulation, and so they have a funding body instead. And so we do lots of things at the Office for Students, but we basically regulate in the interest of students, and I'm working in the free speech team in particular, which is just trying to implement some new legislation that got passed. So it's very much a civil servant role. I have no control over what the legislation says, but I have to do my best by democracy to implement it the way that it was supposed to be written. So that's what I'm doing.
I sell yarn for a living, just, in case you were wondering.
Much more important, I think, actually.
Much more colorful, at least.
So yeah, that's what I do, and yeah, it's a really fun job. It's a really great place to work. It's got a really great culture.
Awesome.
So, yeah. I've also been planning my wedding.
There you go, yes.
So actually, dun, 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 dun. This is yours.
Oh, this is mine. Oh my goodness. I won't show it off because then, like...
Oh, they can show it.
Okay.
That's fine. You can show it off. And they'll know where it is, which I don't care. If they show up in the evening.
Look how pretty that is. Did you design this yourself?
I drew it myself and designed it using Canva.
Oh, check you out.
I did the illustration on my iPad, and then I did the text on Canva.
Very cool.
So using the shop's Canva. So
so happy to be of assistance.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, you got to do what you got to do, right?
Oh, that's very cool. I didn't actually know you could draw that well.
Oh, well, now you know.
Now I know.
I mean, it's not like anything too good, but it's
yes,
all right.
It's all right. It's very nice. Well, thank you very much.
I did a 4-year art program. Did you not know that?
Oh, I did. Yeah. I mean...
You didn't know what I did in my art.
No. And...
I wasn't really an illustrator, though. I was mainly sculpture and, like, mixed media kind of things.
See, why would
And, like, woodblock printing and...
Why would I think you could draw?
Yeah.
So let's be honest, high school art can mean a whole lot of different things.
But I did win Silver Key of Scholastic Art Awards which was a national. And a Silver Key is second place in that category.
Congratulations.
So, come on. I'm a big deal.
I was the yearbook photo editor 2 years in a row.
And you got a university scholarship, didn't you?
For volleyball.
Yeah, that's impressive.
Like, not for art or like anything useful.
No, volleyball's useful. It's fun too.
I haven't played it in 20 years.
I wish they had a volleyball place in Bath. That'd be fun.
I actually looked that up when I first moved here, because I played with like a rec league in Germany that was really fun. Like every Friday night, basically we just played. There's a men's team and a women's team.
Yeah. They had
And
that.
we went out for beers afterwards, and it was nice.
They had that in Arizona too, which was really fun.
Probably a bunch of beach volleyball in Arizona too.
Yeah, but you could go in this. It was at ASU because it's so hot.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah, nothing like that for adults here. Like there is volleyball up at the uni, but it's all students.
Oh yeah, exactly.
Sometimes when I go to the gym up there, I watch the volleyball.
Yeah. I wish there was just a women's five-a-side team. I can't, for the life of me, find a women's five-a-side team in Bath. It's driving me insane. I think I might start one because...
Okay. Well, go for it. I also have noticed you still have your Taylor Swift nails.
I do. I was supposed to get them off on Monday, but I had to cancel my appointment because I had a work meeting that moved to the end of the day, which meant I couldn't go to get my nails done.
Well, we haven't talked about Taylor Swift either.
Oh, yes, we have.
Kayleigh and I went to Taylor Swift because I didn't talk about it last time.
Oh, yeah. Well, no, I guess it was Susan, but...
Yeah. I mean, I mentioned it, but I said I'd wait until you got here to talk about the amazingness.
It was really amazing, wasn't it?
It was really amazing.
It was really fun. I was surprised at actually how good...
Now we're waving at Athena.
funny. Sort of an eventful day for you and Athena, isn't it?
Oh, yeah, I helped her. I am definitely the friend that, like, Athena calls me in the middle of the day. Sorry, now we're off on a whole other tangent. Calls me in the middle of the day, and the first thing I thought was, am I in trouble? She doesn't usually call in the middle of the day. And I was like, everything okay? And she goes, yeah, I just found this sideboard on the side of the road. Should I keep it? And I was like, I don't know. And then I got very confused as to where she was exactly. Yeah. But she was between her place and my place.
Yeah, was that the corner that's over the bridge?
Yeah, it was like by the park.
Oh, it was by the park.
Right on the corner of the park, okay. Yeah. And she goes, yeah, can you come help me move it? And I was like, yes, I can. So I threw on like some shoes and walked out the door. And about halfway there, I was like, she probably meant in my car. Like, how are we going to move a piece of furniture?
Oh, no.
No. So then she calls me again, and she goes, ooh, it's quite heavy. And I said, you meant in my car, didn't you? Not on my feet. And she goes, no, I meant on your feet. And I was like, how are we going to move it? She goes, oh, yeah, your car would be better.
No.
So then I walked back and got my car.
That's so funny.
It was, I mean,
it was big.
Even if it was a lighter piece of furniture,
yeah,
like, it's like a good several blocks from where we were to where it needed to be.
Oh, gosh.
And then I was like, ooh, Volvo, can
you do it?
Can you do it?
Yes, you can.
Yes, you can. If I sit this close to the steering, like the steering wheel was right here, and I was like, I don't know how to turn off the airbag. I was so paranoid that I was just gonna like.
That's when you like go slow and think like, God, that the speed limits are actually quite reasonable.
Yes, I was just like turning slowly, braking slowly. Like, I mean, I've never had airbags go off in anything, but you know.
They're supposed to cause quite an injury.
Yes, especially when you are that close to them.
Oh, God.
So we did get it to Athena's shop, and I would say watch this space as to why she needed this piece of furniture.
Yeah, I know. I hope you tell me after offline.
I can tell you offline. I cannot tell you online.
I'm quite intrigued.
So yes, that is. So yeah, I'm the person you call if you need furniture moved.
Well, yeah.
Randomly
to be fair,
on a Friday.
When I scour the internet on Facebook Marketplace for used furniture, and I see something I like, I go, am I gonna have to call Carmen?
I also moved a sofa for Susan earlier this week.
Yeah. So. The thing is that it's not just the fact that you have a car. It's like that you can actually lift things.
Yes, I can.
Like, you're a really handy mover.
I am the muscle around here, in case anyone was wondering.
She is.
The life of an entrepreneur.
Yeah. But that's good.
So anyways, back to Taylor Swift.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
I'm wearing my bracelet just as a little reminder.
I love it.
For my merch that I bought.
I need to figure out how to recharge my glowy bracelet thingy.
Oh, can we recharge them?
Yeah, Isla said that if you put the thing back in, it recharges it.
Okay, I put the thing back in.
And then you can take it out, and then it will go.
Take it back out.
And then, didn't you send me that link about, like, you can play with the motherboard of it and send it signals?
Oh. Yeah, I sent you the thing about the girl who
is like
put a mother, 12 years old and put a whole circuitry together
to send like certain frequency things to the Taylor Swift thing, and then you could make your own little like Taylor Swift party light show.
So I had no plans of doing that because I can't do circuitry or electronics, but
sound good. Sound would be
well.
Maybe I try to like get a bunch of them secondhand somehow for my wedding. Sam can be sitting in the corner doing a light show.
You could buy them.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not like Taylor Swift technology.
No.
So,
but
I mean, I'm sure if you want to send us your Taylor Swift lighting thing for Kayleigh's wedding, like
please do.
We'll make Sam program them.
Yeah, my wedding imagination has gone kind of crazy this week.
Okay.
I think I might do a cryptic crossword that guests can do.
Okay.
And then there'll be prizes. I feel like
Athena, before or after drinks, because
I feel like Athena and I are on the same page with like when we plan events. It's like, well, how much stuff can we do And how many games can we get involved? And how many prizes can we give away?
Nice. Nice.
And it's like
going
my
to a
wedding.
where you get prizes.
We might do a pub quiz as well.
Okay. You're not going to ask me to like sponsor prizes, are you?
There'll be quite a lot of knitters there.
I will give you 1 skein of Walcott yarn.
I'll cut it up into little pieces.
I'll make mini skeins of
Little mini skeins of things. Yeah, goodie bags.
goodie bags.
You get goodie bags at weddings, right?
No.
No, you usually get like a favor. And I don't even think that's that common here.
I don't think that's even much of a thing anymore.
Is it not? Actually, I don't think it is. The weddings I've gone to, no, it's because I've been bridesmaids in those. I've gotten gifts.
Oh, okay.
But
I haven't been a bridesmaid in a while. Not in like a traditional sense.
you will be. You're one of my 15 bridesmaids.
So many bridesmaids.
No, I think I've got it down to 9. It's too many, but
So many.
It's
Cut
because
me if you want.
it's because I have so many freaking sisters or sisters-in-law. So yeah.
Well, I'm honored to be in the 9 still, but if you need 8, that's okay.
No. We need. I think I need one more because Sam has quite a lot of friends, guy friends,
Right.
who he's asking, and then he's got his brothers, and then he's got my brothers.
Right.
So,
Big families.
yeah, I mean, I'm one of 4, and Sam's one of 3.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
It's big-ish. I
Yeah,
mean, it's
yeah.
not small. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And if there are brothers and sisters-in-laws in addition, that adds
I think
up quite quickly.
that's the thing. And then I think definitely during the wedding planning, it has made me realize that the modern family is very big.
It's true.
Because both of our parents are divorced, and then my mom's remarried, and both of Sam's parents are remarried, and then they have kids.
Right.
And then those kids, some of those kids, like on my mom's side, those kids have kids.
Right.
And so now I'm like, wow. I'm like inviting 100 people to a wedding, and I think like 73 of them are family.
Amazing.
So it's all coming together.
I have to say one of my favorite weddings I ever went to was Moldovan.
Ooh.
It was in Moldova.
Oh, yes, I think you told me about this. Yeah.
And the church ceremony was like really traditional. We all had to stand. Mm-hmm. Like it was quite small, and we were all required to like cover our hair and stuff. And then we went and had like a big meal, and there was dancing. And then there were like 12 different types of alcohol served with everything. I mean, all the glasses were on the table too.
Oh my gosh!
Like little like schnapses and aperitifs and all that stuff. And then at some point the bride gets kidnapped.
Oh yes, you did tell me about this. Yep.
Yeah.
Because also there's some interesting lore about that, but continue and I'll fill in the lore.
The bride gets kidnapped, and then the groom has to find her. And because this was, like, she was Moldovan, he was American, they didn't go, like, really far on the tradition of this, because apparently sometimes it takes the groom the rest of the night to find the bride.
Oh,
like,
my God.
If his groomsmen are assholes.
That's so funny.
But I think she was gone for, like, an hour, maybe. And then there was, like, more food served at 1 a.m.
Yep, there you go.
It was great because you'd been like drinking and dancing,
ready
and
for
like,
some
I'm
food.
hungry, and then there was like a whole other course or 2 served.
Love it.
It was fantastic.
Yeah. So there'll be another course at ours too, but not at 2 a.m. It will be at like 8 o'clock or 9 o'clock or something. So
Much more reasonable.
yeah, exactly.
Very nice.
So that's quite exciting. Oh, the lore. That's what I was going to fill in. So yeah, I've been seeing this on like TikTok, Instagram Reels or whatever. So I don't know how much in terms of credibility this is. Fair warning, content warning.
Our citations are TikTok and Instagram.
Because I've actually heard like mixed things. So like for instance, like why traditionally the bridesmaids wear white.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, so traditionally bridesmaids wear white, and I've heard 2 stories about this. The first one is the bridesmaid used to wear white because there were like evil spirits around, and the evil spirits wouldn't then know which was the bride, and so could like go and attack one of the bridesmaids instead of the bride. And that's why
were like protectors.
Yeah, and like
bouncers.
that's why the bridesmaids go ahead of the bride to the altar.
Okay.
And like they wouldn't know which one she was. They'd like outsmart the evil spirits.
Well, and now people get drink thrown on them if they're wearing white to a wedding.
Yes,
There's like loads of TikToks about that.
Yeah, and so this is actually my dilemma is I've actually always wanted my bridesmaids to wear white, but I don't think we can have them do that. Because I'm going for like an English countryside theme, and I think florals will be better. But anyway, then the second lore is that it dates back to the Middle Ages. And in the Middle Ages, weddings were really like contentious affairs because it was all about like joining different households together and like getting power, land, all of those kinds of things. And so there would be like lots of abductions of brides at weddings to make it the case that they couldn't get married. And so they would dress all the other bridesmaids in white too, so that like the person wouldn't be able to figure out which one was the bride and would maybe abduct the wrong person, right?
I see.
But then also this is linked to the best man thing, where the best man etymologically actually dates back to the Middle Ages, where they were talking about how there was a best swordsman, not a best man, and your best swordsman would stand next to you at the altar, next to the groom at the altar,
like,
to protect against the people who are trying to abduct the bride.
Okay. Well,
there we go.
Something today. Thank you, Instagram and TikTok.
Yes.
For
Exactly.
teaching us the
lore of weddings.
Maybe go look that up for yourself, guys.
I know, exactly. I mean, put your like thoughts in the comments if you have another story.
Yeah.
Because I think the veil also used to be about like evil spirits. It kept the evil spirits away.
Yeah.
But who knows?
I haven't done a lot of research on weddings.
And I think there's also too like lots of like cultural stories around this. So who knows like where these things are coming from.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
Well, lots to integrate.
Yeah.
Or consider.
Yeah.
But are you announcing that you found a dress?
Yes, I did find a dress. That was after Taylor Swift.
That was after Taylor Swift.
Yep.
It was the Taylor Swift magic.
Yes, exactly. And we went to a shop in London that I didn't think actually going there that I'd, like, not because of anything to do with the shop. I just wasn't like going to buy a dress because I'd considered making it myself or knitting it myself. And I was going to knit it if it was going to be like more in the autumn period.
Right.
But then once we decided to book it in July, I was like, that's going to be hot. I mean, who knows?
I mean, yeah, you could have sunshine.
Yeah. Well, now I'm going to do a Shetland wedding shawl. And that can go with it.
Which I was very surprised you didn't know about.
No, I didn't. I like looked at Carmen like, what?
What are you talking about? Yeah, so traditional Shetland wedding shawls. And I don't know a ton about this, but I know that traditional shawls, you can actually slip through a wedding band.
Yeah.
So that is how fine.
Yeah, it's like a lace weight.
Yeah, they're stunning. I have zero interest in knitting one, but you have fun.
Well, part of me was thinking...
What were you thinking?
Was that I might do something where, like with the knitting shawl, because I have so many talented knitters, is that I would pass around the knitting shawl and get people, all of the knitters in my life, to knit part of the shawl together. And then it would be like a culmination of all of our knitting prowess together in one shawl, and it would be this meaningful
item. Let's get started on that then. Did you just see...
But this is the great thing, Carmen. You can start it, and then if you don't finish it, then you pass it on to Amanda.
Are you going to do a pie shawl then?
Maybe, or I haven't thought about it too much. But
I'll do the central circle.
Yeah, there we go.
Did you see Kayleigh finishing off the wedding shawl for her daughter?
It's gorgeous. I didn't see what...
Oh, I don't know, something like
I saw the finest
1,600 stitches of picot bind off she had to do.
Who's really good at binding off? I'll give it to them.
Not me.
Basically, what's going to end up happening is everybody's going to end up doing like 2 rows, then pass it back to Amanda. Amanda's going to end up finishing it. No, Amanda, we won't do that to you. But yes, I feel like that would be
that is a really lovely
meaningful,
idea. Yes.
Yeah. And then I'm thinking of using like Garth Nor #1 or something.
Oh yeah, that is very nice. Yeah, that should work. You almost need cobweb lace though if you want the traditional.
Yeah.
If you
well,
want
#1 is quite fine, right?
But it's wool and spun, so it blooms. It's not as fine as those traditional Shetland laces.
I wonder, what about the knitting for olive cashmere?
That would probably work.
Yeah, because it's so like cashmere, so...
I mean, that would be stunning.
Yeah, it would. Anyway, should we get to the yarn?
Should we get to some knitting? Yeah.
What have you been knitting? Do you have it with you?
I do, actually. I spent a good chunk of yesterday actually knitting because I just needed to.
Yeah, and you were a bit under the weather.
Yes,
so.
and I just thought, well.
Ooh. Oh, okay. I was like, green?
No. This is my,
I love
this tie top bag actually is like so much more useful.
I love that tie top bag.
So I'm on my Bella blocking.
Oh, nice. Oh, good. It looks great.
Yeah. So this is the back yoke. I'm just into the sleeve, like the armhole increases on the back. And
should we show the finished version?
I'm like slightly worried that I've gone a bit deep, but we measured this, and then I wanted to go a little bit deeper because I definitely didn't want this going
like
right
on
across
your
my
boobs.
bust.
Yeah.
So, and I would like it to be actually a bit oversized.
Okay.
So yeah, that is what I'm doing.
Cute.
Yeah, and I'm
that
doing
seems
like
it will go
in fluff. Yeah, it's going when I'm actually working
back,
on it. Yeah, so I am. Yeah,
Cute.
so mine is quite a bit deeper now. That's fine.
That looks so good on like everybody.
Yes,
but I really like
Star
Beverly.
Yeah, Beverly really wants to steal it.
I know. Ooh, oh no, I didn't bring it. Crap. The thing I stole, I finally have washed and defuzzed, and it's ready to go to what's it called?
Flock?
Yeah.
Ah, okay.
And I meant to bring it actually, but I think I forgot it. So.
Yes, so I'm doing my Bella blocking in Walcott Yarns and Les Garçons fluff, just the fluff. So it's very lightweight, and I've got Cinema, our red at the top, and then English Rose, which is a light color at the bottom.
Cute.
So yeah,
Love it.
What I'm doing. And you?
So last time I was on the podcast, I was talking about how I got the Glad, which we now have in shop.
Yes, we do.
And I've been doing a Thea Coleman pattern, Golden Folly, and I basically almost finished it. And somehow I went wrong. And I thought I like definitely measured the straps in the front right, but they were like a million years longer. And then ran out of yarn as a result of it. And then I was like, how did I run out of yarn? That doesn't make sense, like math-wise. And then I remeasured them and I was like, oh, okay, that doesn't make any sense. So I had to rip back, which is fine. I mean, it's a worsted weight pattern, like it'll go really quick once I've done that. But in the meantime, I was like, one of the things I wanted to do this summer was to do my second tessellated, which which I originally picked out the colors for last summer when she released the Rhinebeck sweater.
Yes.
Which were if you remember, back to season 1.
Was that season 1?
I think it was season 1. It was really bright orange color. So it was the Aperol with the Isagar and Sunset Strip. Yeah. Oh yeah, here you go. So I've started that. Because I was like, if I'm going to wear it this summer, I need to definitely, or like even like end of summer, autumn, then I need to like get it on the needles.
It is bright.
It's very bright and very like kind of subtle in terms of the transition in the spin cycle. And then the Isagar kind of silk mohair that I'm using. I really like how it is like a really subtle.
Yeah, no, I like the low contrast of it. And the Sunset Strip doesn't exist anymore. Too. It is very, very soft.
Yes.
Very nice.
Yes, so that was the thing too, is that I basically bought the last 2 skeins of Sunset Strip, I think.
Yeah. Don't run out.
Yeah. Well, my first one only took 1 and like a little tiny bit of the second one.
Nice.
So I think I should have quite a bit left over, which is good. I can use that in something. But yeah, I'm really excited for it. I really love the apparel, actually. I've always been like, oh, is apparel too bright? But actually, I really, really like the color of it. It's really quite a good orange.
It is a very good orange.
I feel like I need to, when I'm done with it, I don't know her, but I kind of want to tag Gigi.
Oh, yeah.
Because she is like the queen of orange.
Yeah.
And I feel like this is her orange.
It is, yes. I would agree with that.
And not even to like get her to buy it, but more just like, can you appreciate the orange with me?
I'm sure she will appreciate the orange.
Because I'm very excited about it.
Someone else will definitely appreciate the orange with you.
Yeah. So yes, that's what I've been working on.
I feel like Becca will also appreciate the orange.
Yes, Becca would really appreciate that. Me and her have the same. I think that's like our emo backgrounds. We have the same kind of like love for this right kind of like color schemes.
Hilarious.
It informs our adult lives.
Well,
where we have to be very serious individuals.
Yes, very serious individuals. Yes, so I'm pretty exclusively on this at the moment because I need to get that done for Flock.
Right.
I do have my knitting for Olive, so I've got that in between.
Nice.
I would still like to wear that in August.
Yeah.
But
you got a really long flight.
I do have a really long flight. And then I promised Annie a pair of socks. So
why would you do that?
Well,
to yourself?
I didn't really promise them. Well, I promised him a pair, and then he said, "Can you make them for Oregon so I can wear them in my hiking boots?" And I was like, "No,
it might be too hot though."
Well, that's what I said. He was like, "No," and I said, "Okay." So I've wound the yarn. I'm gonna do two at a time. I am using a skein of like BFL nylon sock from Lake Garcons from one of their sock clubs.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Okay.
He picked it out.
Yeah,
I was like, here's my stash.
You can
Choose
use
a color.
Yeah. I thought maybe if it was a hiking sock, you would go Snowdonia sock.
No, I would have but I was like, here, pick something from stash.
Yeah.
And I did not
Fair
have
enough.
any. Actually, that's not true. I do have some Snowdonia sock in stash, but I wanted more myself.
Yeah, fair enough.
So that was not an option.
Keep the good things.
I've seen the Tafy.
Oh, lovely. I really want some Tafy.
Yeah, that was limited edition.
Yeah.
There's probably a couple skeins kicking it out somewhere, but I have a couple.
I think there's a Tafy that's like in the color, no, I think that's Priscelli maybe, but like sunset or something. It's like this lovely marled orange and that I really want, but Johnny's been sold out of it for ages, so.
Yeah.
But Johnny, if you're watching this, that's a wedding gift you can give me.
I'm sure he'll get right on that.
Don't think about Sam in that.
Yes, so let's see. What's our next segment? Oh, we thought we'd show off a couple. Well, you've picked out some yarn for a project.
Yes. So, I picked out loads of yarn for projects.
Oh, okay.
I don't know what's going on with me right now. I was in this like knitting slump, and then all of a sudden, all these like lovely patterns keep coming up on Instagram, and I'm like, oh my god, I need to knit that. And so I picked out. So I'll first show you the yarn that I've already bought, which I bought in the sale. Which we still have some of, though.
We do still have some.
So you can still get your hands not on this color because I took all of it. But I got me some Julie Asselin Nurtured, which I have always loved, and I probably should have bought it sooner, to be honest. But I was just when I saw that it was going, not that like. I know Carmen, like, she'll probably just reorder it at some point in her life.
Yeah,
Who knows?
I mean, the thing is, I love this yarn, but it just doesn't sell.
I know. I don't know why it doesn't sell.
It's absolutely stunning.
Yeah.
We've had it for quite a while, though, and it's just never been
it's
something
a Rambouillet,
that's really...
too, and we actually don't have that much Rambouillet.
No, we don't.
Yeah.
And it is... It's these beautiful, like...
Yeah.
complex sort of tweedy marley colors in there. This one's a really light one. It's very subtle.
Yeah, that's what I love about it, though. You know what it kind of reminds me of, which is also like, don't judge me too much for this, people out there. It reminds me of like the description of Edward Cullen's skin from Twilight. In terms of like the diamondy kind of sheen.
Okay, I'm definitely judging you. I've also not read the books, so
Oh, I read the books.
Yeah. See, I'm a bit too old for that.
Yeah. I read the
seen
books
the
in
movies,
high school, I think.
but,
The movies are crap. But anyway, but they're also hilarious because they're so crap. But anyway, it's like just such a, like the more you stare at it, the more it shows you more of its colors. It's got like these really subtle purples and kind of yellowy greens in there. So I've actually had my eye on this for like ages. And this was one of the skeins that like every time, like when I was working the shop regularly, I'd like clean out the shelves and like wipe them down, and I'd be doing the nurture. I'd be like, ooh, so pretty.
It is very pretty.
It's very pretty.
But we are discontinuing it because
it
just doesn't sell. Sometimes that happens. Like
So,
nice yarn just
this
isn't.
is your chance.
This is your chance. We do have some left,
Yeah.
and it's heavily discounted, so it's a bargain.
It is a big bargain.
Yeah.
So I'm using this for Thea Coleman Smoke Show.
Nice.
Or is it Smoke Show or Smoke Shadow?
I don't know.
Or Shadow Play. That's what it is, Shadow Play.
Okay.
Or maybe Smoke Show. I can't remember. One of those two. But it's a really lovely cabled vest with buttons down the middle. So it's like a cardigan vest.
Yes.
And really kind of subtle cables that I think will go really well with the kind of subtle color changes in the yarn.
Nice. That'll be really pretty.
Yeah, I think it'll be really, really pretty. So I'm excited for that. Then I've also picked out yarn for 2 patterns that actually I think got released this week.
Okay.
So one of them is by Tote Lutsak.
Oh yeah.
She's, I think, she might be Ukrainian actually, or Romanian maybe.
I don't know.
Eastern European, I believe. Although,
Yeah,
it's Ukrainian. Yeah, Ukrainian. Yeah. And it's her pattern, Drevo pullover. It's actually really similar to that one that Anna did in terms of shaping.
Yeah.
And it's this really beautiful, it's got this, I mean, Max will put a picture of it up, but it's got this really lovely kind of silhouette on the top here. And then she's done it in, I think, Rosa Pomar's Vovo.
Oh, okay.
Which is lovely.
That is lovely. That is on my order list.
Yeah. Which, I'd love to get that in, but it's got these lovely cables in it as well.
It is very pretty.
So the yarn I picked out for it, so you definitely can do it in our Walcott Yarns Opus, but I think, actually, it would be actually really nice in the Walcott Yarns. It's got a really good drape to it, don't you think?
Yeah, definitely.
So that would be a really good one. I was thinking maybe something a little bit more structured. So that's why I picked out...
What? I don't even know what Kayleigh has over there.
The Zigger Tweed.
Nice.
I used this for my pressed flowers, and I absolutely loved it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel
It's
like
really nice.
Zigger's yarn like really transforms when you knit it, like almost in
when you
every
lock
single
it.
one. Yeah. So these are kind of the 3 what a surprise colors that I'm thinking about using, which is the bottle green.
It's green, people. It's green.
It's like a lovely mossy, foresty green tweed.
There we go. Yeah, it's very green.
And then I have, of course, paprika, which is a really nice kind of rusty, reddy, orangey with little flecks of yellow in it. And then...
Focus camera.
It's like almost focusing. It's like
know.
focusing on a certain part there. No?
No, I've hidden our faces. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, it doesn't like the orange either, the camera.
And then this is something I really wanted to use, which is the autumn. Yeah, the autumn. And it's like a really lovely, like autumny burnt red. Not even burnt red. It's just like
Rusty
a true, dark rusty red with more flecks
More
of
burgundy-ish.
orange and green actually in there too.
Does that work? Hey,
there we go.
Focus. There's some
really
bright
gorgeous.
flecks in this
Really
one,
bright
actually.
flecks. I've actually thought about doing a Susan and using that with the brightest red that they have, and doing like almost like a one of those vests that you've all done.
Oh yeah, the
petite
Stockholm.
knit. Yeah.
Let me see if I can get the paprika to show. Yes, there we go.
Gorgeous.
To cover more of us up.
Yeah.
So that one has more subtle tweeds.
Yeah.
And then this one,
it's quite subtle actually on that one, but
yes,
it's got,
but it has these like purple tweeds in it that I really like.
Yeah.
So it is. I really like this. I think it's showing up a little bit brown on camera, but it is a green.
It is a green. Yeah. And then if I did it in Opus, these are the 3 that I picked out. Which actually I picked them out and I was like, ooh, that's actually like a good colorwork. Like I would want to do one of
good colorwork.
I actually I have one of Max's patterns.
Oh, which one?
I have a few of his patterns. It's the one that was out in Lina.
One with a flower?
No,
that was in Pom Pom.
It was like it was kind of like a triangle-y one. It wasn't House of Diamonds. It was
the Gold Star. No, that was individual as well. You didn't.
I'll find it if you show these off.
Oh yes, I will
but
show these
I
off.
think any one of these I'd love to use. Of course, we have their 2 new colors in there
so
because
we got
I'm
plum,
like, dying to use them.
which is our dark purple color, and then our new shades, Lavender Haze, which is lavender, so nice purpley color, and then Key Lime Pie, which is a chartreuse.
It is Nightfall. It's this one here.
Oh yes,
that would be gorgeous of that.
That would. I think that's
I think this is a DK, yeah. Although I could just play with gauge.
Could play with gauge.
But I really like that. I feel like
is it 3 or 4 colors?
It's 4, so I'd need one more.
I could put a gray as a background.
I could do gray or charcoal.
Charcoal
could be quite good.
White. You want to brighten it up?
Or maybe one of the pinks.
Yeah.
I think I'd maybe go. Ooh, or
you put Cove in there.
No, I'm thinking. Oh, I need to grab that.
Okay.
Let me just.
Kayleigh's gonna go to the wall of oats.
Yes, I'm going.
Oh, blacklight. Okay, that is yes. I mean,
that's fun.
That is fun. So that down here is blacklight, which is a bright ass purple.
What I like to call Barney purple, except it's more purple than Barney purple. Barney purple is a little bit more pink.
Yeah, this is blacklight.
I wouldn't name it Barney purple.
Well, you weren't in charge of the color naming, were you?
No, I wasn't. I named one of them, which is one of my favorite ones.
Which one did you name?
The
Spellbound. Oh, Spellbound. Yes, you did name Spellbound. Yes. Sandra named Kermit.
Yeah. Which is very fitting.
Yes, it is.
I loved our customer Anne's sweater in that.
So
gorgeous,
good, right?
I
Such
really
a good pattern too.
Yeah, really shows off Kermit well too. I think it shows like it looks like like an intimidating color, but then when you see it actually knit up,
it's not as
like
crazy.
Yeah.
Also, I think all those greens together on the wall over there look amazing.
Yeah, definitely.
Like you could do a funky, fadey thing.
Definitely.
Yes. Anyways,
yeah, I feel like it really brought together
show
the palette.
Yeah, it did bring together palette, which I wasn't quite expecting, but yeah it did. Cool. Any more patterns?
Yes, so there's one other pattern that came out this week, which was the Lyra sweater. And that is by... Oh, it's actually called the Lyra Tee by Irene Lynn. And it's a really kind of romantic...
that's cute.
Kind of long short sleeve. So it's not quite 3/4.
No, it's above the elbow.
Above the elbow.
A little bit floaty looking.
Really floaty looking. She did it in a cashmere, which gives it that lovely, lovely drape.
Nice.
And then it's got these really delicate kind of cable detailing right below the rib and right below the rib on the body as well.
Is it like a gathered shoulder?
It might. Oh, really lovely shoulder, isn't
yeah,
that? I think
nice
that might be
shoulder.
is that a broken rib stitch?
No, you know what? That looks like a twisted rib.
Yes, I think you're right. Yeah.
That's quite nice.
Yeah, really. Look at that though.
That is very
just
pretty.
Beautiful. So I'd love to do that as well, and I'm thinking it would really lend itself to swanky.
Yes. Yes. Love me some swanky.
So,
Oh,
I've been thinking actually of using a lot more of the speckled.
Okay.
I'm always like somebody who doesn't necessarily go to the speckles right away because I feel like I don't know how it's going to look.
This is Dream Beaver, by the way. It's kind of a peach base with blue and rust and green speckles.
Yeah. But the more I've seen actually Magpie's Instagram, well, I mean, I've always followed them, but I feel like they've been posting more of like what their speckles look like knit up and things. I'm like, oh, okay, I need to do that.
Yeah.
So this would be really good for it. I don't think it would be good for my skin tone. Be somebody like a bit tanner than me. But I'm really... I feel like it's too close. I feel like I look like I'm naked with some speckles.
I would definitely look naked. No, that's not for either of us. It's better like mixed in with another.
Yeah. I think it's gorgeous.
It is beautiful.
And then, so could do this one, which was...
Night Train.
Night Train, yeah.
That's a... Night Train and Masquerade are both in the like teal family.
Yeah, this one's a little bit more blue,
bluer,
right? Yeah.
And Masquerade is greener.
Yeah. And this one is really, actually, it's not, it's still a little bit more green than...
Actually, that would be
nice. Quite nice, though.
You want to combine that with fluff, that'd be great.
Yeah.
Right there.
Be a really good combo with that, but still a little bit, yeah. Yeah. And then I thought that one would be good for my skin tone in particular. Fun to replay.
It's like a purpley, mauve-y. Everything's looking a little bit darker on camera at the moment. But that's like a nice mid-purple.
Yeah.
Gray purple.
It's like a gray or purple as well. I actually thought, because I'm always really jealous of Susan's doing one of the grays.
No.
Because I'm always like not a gray person because I think
actually,
it's like
for
a
all of
boring
Susan's
color,
love
but...
of gray, she doesn't knit very much.
Well, she has.
Has she?
Yeah. Well, maybe it's... I think she's trying to stray out of her comfort zone more recently. But Dolly...
Alloy
and Stormfront could be also both quite good.
So there's a light gray and a mid gray.
Yeah.
Both
and
on
you
the
can
cooler
see
side.
kind of, the kind of purpley undertones there.
Yeah. Very pretty. Very pretty. Okay, well, I've not been looking at any patterns.
Yeah,
so...
well, put on your blinders.
Yes, because I'm trying to get stuff done. This is also why I haven't gone home with the Forte set of needles, because I'll want to knit with them and
cast on a new project.
Yeah, so I will wait to get myself those. Yeah.
I thought Amanda might go home with one.
She did.
Oh, she did?
Yeah.
Yes, good.
She did. She messaged me, she goes, "You're not going to believe this, but I need a 5.5 mil needle and I don't have any.
So I need to buy the set."
So I'm gonna get the set. I was like, okay.
Every time Amanda buys needles in the shop, she has to like message someone being like, "I don't have this needle size." And we're like, "Okay, Amanda."
Amanda is our #1 needle purchaser. But now she has a beautiful set, an organized set. She was always an individual needle buyer. And Susan was actually saying at the staff meeting the other day that, you know, we all heard her initial review, but now that she's been using them longer, and she went back to some fixed Chow circulars for another shift the other day, and her wrists hurt, and she realized how much the swivel on the Forte...
And that's on the needle, right?
No, it's on the cable.
Okay.
But the swivel...
it was like the swivel 360 or something, right?
Swivel 365, I think.
Yeah, I think that's right.
And so she said that it's actually making a big difference in like how much her hands and wrist hurts. And I think that's what like pushed Amanda over the edge.
Okay. Yeah.
To let me give this a try.
Yeah.
And since they only come as a set at the moment.
Yeah.
She was like, "I'm all in."
Yeah, I'm quite tempted myself.
I have a feeling by Christmas we're all gonna.
Yeah. I'll go on my Christmas wish list.
Yeah. So the other thing we were going to show off, because we haven't been able to because they came in and flew out so fast last time, but you have one. Do you want to do that one first?
Sure.
Okay.
Ta-da!
Hide and hammer bags.
Hide and hammer bags. So this is the black. We've had the blue, right?
Yes. but we sold out of the blue again.
Oh, okay.
So we
Oh,
just
actually, this is a different material.
yeah, so this isn't the number 10.
Oh.
This is the new tote.
I didn't know we were getting these.
We've had them twice now already.
How did I not know this?
Because they sold out so fast last time, nobody even saw them.
Oh, wait. These were the same day as the nesting baskets, right?
I think different day, but
Okay, but same time
they went
period.
really quickly.
Oh, this is lovely.
Yes, so these are not the number 10.
Yeah.
This is just calling it the new tote. So it has the pockets on the outside, which Kayleigh's currently exploring.
Sorry, I'm like just looking at it for myself, not showing you on camera. Dun, 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 dun.
So it has gusseted pockets. Let's show.
I know.
Okay.
Let's give it to Carmen.
Okay. So it has gusseted pockets on both edges. So you can put like a water bottle in there, which I don't have to show you. And then it has three pockets here. Oh, there we go. So that's quite a big water bottle.
Yeah, it is. But look at that.
See? That fits very nicely there. And then 3 pockets on the front and then 3 along the back. And then all of the space inside. So this is like an everyday tote. It fits over your shoulder. Ooh, I almost spilled all the wine.
Really cute.
Really nicely. New. The thing I love about New's bags, so I have like a handbag from her too that she made ages ago. She really thinks about how they sit on your shoulder so they're not gonna like slip off all day.
Well, that's because New's a perfectionist.
Yes. And she thinks about these
We love
things.
a perfectionist.
Yeah. So you can put like all of your crap in here, whether knitting or not, and then all your bits that you need to like
it's quite
reach.
big actually. It's big, but it's also like not like
so
impractical, right?
Yeah. I mean, it folds up pretty
Yeah.
neatly.
It would fit in a suitcase quite
But
well.
you could carry it like, on your elbow or over your shoulder. And I've got like,
Or in your hand.
in your hand.
Really nice leather straps.
Yeah,
too.
it is very similar to the number 10, which is like my go-to travel bag.
Yeah.
But this has pockets on the outside.
What was that one that we used to sell that I think New discontinued?
A 5.
5, yeah.
Yeah, so
it's
this
bigger
is
than the 5.
This is like the bigger version of the 5.
Yeah.
So,
Cute.
it's very nice.
And it's oilskin.
It is a wax. No, it's
Wax
not
canvas.
oilskin. It's a wax canvas.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Lovely. Because the number 5 was an oilskin, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
If I was an oilskin.
Really nice though. So because it's wax too, it'll be waterproof.
Yes. Yeah. So that is
Gorgeous.
that. The other thing that we got in.
Also this, by the way.
Yes.
That's new.
Isn't that nice?
That's a really nice detail. The little Hide & Hammer logo. That's quite good.
So the other thing we got in that came and went so quickly, none of us saw it, is the nesting bags.
Oh my god. These are way bigger than I thought they were.
Uh-huh.
In the picture online, I thought they were like little tiny little cute things.
So these come as a set. I'm gonna make Kayleigh hold that one.
Yeah.
So that's the baby bear. That's
Baby
the mama bear.
bear.
And this is the papa bear.
Oh my god.
And
they're so big.
Yeah. So
Did Susan buy these?
No, I don't think she has yet.
Okay, I can see her.
So she has made these
These are gorgeous.
with these straps. So they just fold up, and then they're basically just a giant bucket. What do we have? We've got yarn in here. We currently just have like 10 skeins of yarn in here, kicking it. But it's just a giant bucket. You can like roll this down and knit off of it.
Oh, that's smart.
And then it can just like be a basket.
And then what is this whole thing? Right. I'm exploring.
You're exploring.
But what does this do?
It closes it the way that it was. So this then folds down, and then you wrap it closed.
Oh, I see. Okay. Yep.
And you snap it.
But
there.
it also can go like that.
Yes. So when it's a bucket,
Yeah.
it can do that. So I have the medium bag, which I'm just gonna like very casually throw 10 skeins of
yarn.
100 grams.
So these are really good for storage, but also knitting out of.
Yeah, so this is very much like storage bag. So I was thinking I could take these home and like organize all my whips and make it look
Ooh, nice.
tighter in my living room.
I love it.
Yeah, so...
Will all your whips fit in here?
Well, I haven't shown off the big one yet, have I?
I like the baby bear. I can see me
so that's definitely like a
using
project
it as
bag.
a project bag and having that like live in my living room.
So this one is so big.
The Papa.
This is so ridiculous. This also has
the Papa or the Big Mama. As
Yeah.
we like maybe Big Mamba number 5.
I mean, this is literally like...
I think maybe I could fit in it.
Yeah, I mean, my shoulders are too wide. Yours might be narrow enough that you could like... You could put your arms out. No, put your arms down.
Oh, I see what you mean. Like that.
I can like pull it over.
I think I might be a little bit
You're
too
a little
wide.
bit too wide.
Yeah.
Okay, we can almost put Kayleigh in it. I mean, this is huge.
Yeah, it is.
If I stand up, it is the
It's
length
your body.
of my body.
That is hilarious.
Which you
And
can't really
Carmen
see.
is a tall person.
I'm 6'1". 6'1". This bag is humongous. So yes, I think that most of my whips in my living room, in their project bags, would fit in here.
We can fit Davina in there probably.
We definitely fit Davina in here. It's like got a lovely gusset, so it'll sit flat. Yeah, I might have to walk home with a set of these because they're almost sold out.
I'm surprised
again.
you didn't get them the first time.
They were gone. I was away for the weekend and they were gone.
You were. That's so funny.
So, you know.
Yeah, pretty good.
Yep.
As usual.
As usual. So they come in this lovely midnight color at the moment. But, you know, at some point, there will probably be other colors.
Love it. I love the midnight color though.
See, and I've just rolled
One of
that
my
down.
favorites.
Now it's pretty small, so.
I still want to get I still need a, like a Hide and Hammer or like 08 or 03 in this color.
I just took one in the cobalt because I think she's about to be out of that color.
Yeah.
And then she had the neon handles the other day.
Right?
So I have one hot pink set, so I got an extra hot pink set and the lime green, the neon green.
Yeah.
So that I can maybe like switch it up.
Do you like how she's got like a lavender haze bag?
Yeah, that's the one I have. I've had that one for ages.
Yeah. Oh yeah, you have. Yeah.
With the neon pink handle.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which I haven't been allowed to show off because like it was just an extra thing she had kicking about. Then she finally
committed
to sell them. Yeah.
I love
Because every time I took it somewhere, people were like, "Where'd you get that one? Can I have that?" And I was like, "Oh, prototype."
I love it.
The problem
Yeah, I need one too.
with getting prototypes. Do you want to do Q&A first or lessons in knitting first?
Let's do lessons.
Okay, lessons in knitting. We're going to talk about colorwork tips.
Yep.
So these are just our tips. We're not going to do a tutorial here.
Yep. Because
so what are your major tips for stranded colorwork or any type of colorwork actually?
So I am a English thrower. English thrower. And so I hold my yarn in one hand. So if I'm doing stranded color work, I will hold them and I use what I like to call the Jared Flood method, which if you go to YouTube and you put in Jared Flood colorwork, this is how he does it as well, which is you hold it in both hands and you twist them as you go. And so you're throwing actually with two different fingers on one hand. And I find that that's just really comfortable for me. I can get my tension really well. My tension really good. And then I can strand it quite evenly as I go.
Okay.
So I think like the biggest thing with stranded color work is making sure that your floats aren't too tight.
Yes.
And I find I can control that best by using my dominant hand, whereas I could never get it with the
Doing one and one.
Doing one and one.
Yeah.
But you're a continental knitter.
I'm a continental knitter, so I tension my yarn in my left hand. I'm also left-handed, so that makes a huge difference. I can do stranded color work with both hands, but I'm very slow with my right. And it works better with certain types of yarn than others. But I use a ring.
Oh, do you? Okay,
yeah,
nice.
so I use a, I've seen it called a Norwegian thimble.
Yeah,
Norwegians I know are like, I don't know why it's called that. So I have a ring. It's a really beautiful silver ring I bought in Finland by this jeweler there. It has like 4 things in it. So I just put my yarn through that and I tension, that's my best tension. And also my tip on that is when I first learned color work, someone said to me, your floats can't be too loose.
Yeah.
So that's what I try to remember, is that whatever I do, I'm better off having wildly loose floats than too tight floats.
Yeah.
So I had a tiny bit of color work on the back of my Bella blocking, and I had the purl color work.
Oh, okay.
Which is not my favorite thing to do.
Especially because the yarn's going to be in the front. Then.
Yes.
Your floats are going to be in the front.
Yeah. So it's not quite as loose as I would have liked, but I think we're going to be okay.
Do we have a colorwork sweater?
Yes.
Oh, we
have one over here.
Yeah.
We did.
So we'll show you our floats.
Yeah. We'll show you some very sexy floats.
These are Amanda floats.
These are. So on a stranded colorwork sweater, the inside of your sweater should basically be as beautiful and even as the outside.
Yeah, it is gorgeous.
So this is the Fierce sweater by Kate Oates. It was last year's Rhinebeck sweater from her. And you can just see how even that is. You can see the pattern basically. I can almost wear this in the reverse.
Definitely.
But for stranded color work, my biggest piece of advice is your floats can't be too loose. So whatever technique you're doing, just keep your floats loose and your color work will look very nice.
Yeah. And then I would say my kind of second tip, so there are different forms of color work that you can do. So stranded color work is like most probably like what we think of as color work. So with my tessellated, this isn't stranded color work. It's actually slip stitch color work. So I'm only ever using one color at a time. I'm not using more than one, but I have 3 different colors that I'm using throughout this pattern. And so your yarn can get a bit tangled throughout. And so what I like to do as my tip, and I won't show this obviously, but it's when I have certain colors, I have them in a certain position. Some people always hold, if you're using 2 colors, one to the left, one to the right, and that will always keep them not tangled. So definitely do that if you're doing like a 2-color color work or stranded color work. If you're using 3, you need to position them a little bit differently, where one is to the left, one is to the right, and then you always have one that comes forward, where you're knitting the other 2 when you're not knitting that one that comes forward. So for me, I have my mohair because that's the one that's most sticky. That I pull it forward, and actually what you do with that is you just pull it over the top of the needle, and then everything that you're working actually goes behind, so it's never tangled up.
It's out of the way.
And because that's the stickiest one for me on this project, that's the reason I'm doing it, but these are way less difficult to untangle if they ever get tangled. So that's a tip that I would say as well.
All right, Q&A.
Q&A.
If you have any questions for us, please do leave them in the comments, or somewhere we have I think a submission form.
Oh, do we?
We do.
Ooh, we're fancy now.
Right. So, first question. How do you feel when you see knitting in movies and TV shows?
Well, first of all, it depends on... Okay, it's complicated. I have like a love-hate relationship with it, I feel like. A lot of the times I'm like, oh my god, yes, knitting, love it, plug it.
I mean, I always initially go, yeah, there's knitting!
Yeah.
And then...
But then... So for instance, there was this isn't actually in film, so sorry whoever asked this question, but there was recently a meme on a astrology Instagram site that I follow, and it was like, which, it had like, what craft are you or whatever, or like, what's your like hobby thing, and Aquarius had like knitting as it, and then it was a ball of yarn and a crochet hook, and I was like, no.
Yes. It is so infuriating when knitting is called crochet and crochet is called knitting.
I know. I feel like there's this mutual, like, from both crocheters and knitters, like it's obviously too, like, there's loads of people who crochet and knit, right?
Yeah.
But like they're different crafts and like they're not interchangeable and they look completely different.
They do.
And like it drives me insane when people call crochet, especially when people call crochet knitting. I am just like, no, like they're doing, well, for me, something I have no idea what to do.
Yeah.
like I can do a chain. That's it. I feel like crochet is like this magical mystery to me still.
Well, and especially annoys me when I see that on fashion.
Yes.
And they call it knitted, and I'm like, that is crocheted, and that is done by hand.
And it's like a human has done that.
Yes, because there is no machine that crochets. So give the human who made that some credit.
Right, exactly. And I'm just like, oh my God. So that drives me insane. Then I also like have this thing, and I think this like sums up my personality in general, where like people...
Tell us about it, Kayleigh.
Like I feel like sometimes people think like knitting is like something that only like is like quaint or like really like old fashioned or like is like granny core or something. And it is, right? Like not, this isn't a diss to any of the grannies out there. But it is a little bit annoying when it's just so associated with that and it doesn't like appreciate the diversity in knitting to me and like all the different people who bring their skills and their background to it. And it like pisses me off that it's so like, oh, it's going to be this like old white granny sitting in her cottage in the English countryside and that's the knitter. Whereas knitting is so much more than that.
Yes. I mean, I am trying to think of a representation of knitting in film or TV that isn't
like stereotypically
granny-ish or quaint,
or like makes you into like this innocent nobody librarian, like,
or like something
kind
the dork in the background
doing.
And I can't really think about, I think like probably one of the best representations of knitting was in Gilmore Girls. They bring it up they use it a few times. And it is definitely, I mean, the whole premise of Gilmore Girls is this like quaint Connecticut town, right? That is like quirky as hell. And you know, they have like a knitting competition at one point. But like the whole town is knitting, right? And that comes up with them a few times. But no, it is never presented as someone who is in like fashion forward. Or
like it's just like a person too. Like, has lots of different interests and like knitting is definitely one of them and is a bit, maybe even a big aspect of their life. But like they're also like in touch with the memes.
Well, or like New Girl.
Right, yes.
Jess from New Girl was an avid knitter.
I
don't know if Zooey Deschanel is in real life. I kind of feel like she might be.
She probably is. I can see it.
But she was always made fun of for her craft caddy that she had. The glue she was using, the glitter, and the knitting. And, you know, it's just something that is made fun of, and that's annoying. And then you also have people who sit there, the actors who are pretending to knit, and clearly no one found a knitter to be on set and like give them a little bit of instruction.
Right, exactly.
So yay to see knitting represented. Boo to almost every representation of it.
Exactly. I think that's our answer.
Good times. Okay. Second question. I've lost my questions now. There we go. Do you ever have problems getting your tension right?
So, yes. I feel like, Carmen, you have a lot of stories about that, which I know of because you've talked about row gauge a lot.
Yes.
So this is actually like something that's quite important about gauge. So a lot of the times we only think of like our stitch gauge, so across rather than up and down. But actually, like if you look at any pattern, it will tell you not just how many stitches you should be getting for the inch or for your for 10 centimeters. You should also be measuring it lengthways as well. And this is something that I think a lot of us don't actually measure.
Yeah. I've not come across any information that had to like adjust your row gauge very well. But I think, so I read that question as, do I have uneven stitches? Like I have.
Oh, okay. That's interesting.
I have good tension in that it's consistent.
Okay.
I'm not always I don't always have the same tension that the pattern's calling for. And my row gauge tension is very different very often. But I do have very consistent tension, whether I'm knitting in the round or knitting and purling. Yeah. But that's just practice over time.
And I think tension is the first thing that, like, that's what makes a garment look its best, I suppose.
Yes, absolutely.
So, like, when people say, like, some people will look at my knits and be like, oh, this beautifully knitted. And I'm like, oh, no, there's, like, loads of issues. And I think what they actually mean is, like, it's consistent.
Yeah.
And that is only something that you can get over time. And it's something that, like, requires, like, a lot of practice. So, like, I started knitting when I was 6 years old, and I was, like, not producing good quality garments or anything when I was 6 years old.
None of us were.
I was just, like, knitting some, like, fancy dress scarves to, like, dress up in. And, like, that was what I was doing. But because I started so young and, like, kept doing it, it's just something that you learn, just like sport. Like, if you go to kick a ball, like, a lot of the time, like, for football for me, if I kick or soccer, if I kick a soccer ball and sometimes it, like, goes where I want it, a lot of the times it doesn't.
Yeah, I mean, it's with anything, right?
Yeah.
Like, you gotta practice your free throws.
Yep.
And you gotta practice your ball kicking and your knitting. And, you know, there's some people who always struggle with, like, their purling. I know people who actually use a different needle size to purl than to knit, and that is just how they knit, and that's fine.
Yeah.
I think you have to find what works for you. I know someone recently did actually an in-depth blog post on tension. I can't remember if it was Patty Lyons or if it was MDK.
Okay.
And there is some information in there. I will find it and we'll put a link in.
Great.
Because your tension apparently is quite based on whether you knit on the tip of your needle or if you actually go shaft to shaft.
Yeah. What do you do?
I've thought about this since, and I'm shaft to shaft.
Yeah, so am I.
I'm, like, pretty deep in there.
I'm pretty deep in there as well. And I think I think that's something too that, like, comes with practice.
Yeah.
I think I used to be a lot tighter of a knitter as well. And so, like, maybe would have to go up a needle size or two, whereas now I tend to be pretty much on whatever needle size is recommended. But sometimes, though, these things, like, change over time. So, for instance, my first shift cowl, like, was basically 2 years ago or 3 years ago. 3 years ago. And I've just done another one, and I can tell the difference doing it on the same needles. Actually, I think there might be one other difference, which is the first one I did was on wooden needles. The second one I did was on the chalgu. Are they steel?
They're steel.
Oh, they were steel. Steel needles. So that could be part of it.
Yes.
I'm a little bit looser on the steel ones than I am on the wooden ones, but also I didn't have gauge on that first one. It was too tight.
Yeah.
And I think that was, like, also to me learning the pattern, whereas I kind of I've done a lot of Andrea Mowry patterns now, like
lots more slip stitching.
Lots more slip stitching, that kind of thing.
I think that's the thing, is there's so much stuff that affects your tension. So the type of needle you're using, whether you knit very primarily on the tip or on the shaft of your needle,
how you're purling side.
how you are feeling, quite frankly.
Yeah.
Like, if you're stressed, like, I have done this before. If I'm stressed, I knit far too tight and suddenly my tension is out. So, you know, all of these things affect your tension, and it is all practice.
Yeah.
So,
and also too, like, as you do it more, like, it will change. So, like, if you have been somebody who is inconsistent on your knitting and purling, like, if you do more purling, it will make it more consistent. So it will change your gauge.
Yes.
As well as change that tension of how it looks.
Yeah.
And this actually is something that I see a lot on my ribbing. when I do it. So I used to do ribbing where, because my pearls were very different from my knits, it would make the ribbing a bit like that, almost. And it would come out in blocking, luckily.
Yeah.
But originally I'd be like, what the hell is going on here? Like, it doesn't look... Yeah. Like, it was almost like the opposite side looked better than the front side, the right side. Okay. And so that's also something that can change over time as well. But you can sometimes see it a little bit better if you're doing ribbing.
Practice, practice, practice.
Yep. And also, like, don't be hard on yourself.
No,
like,
I mean,
it is what it is. Like,
doesn't matter what needle size you use to get the tension that the pattern asks for.
Yeah.
Like, if it asks for, if the designer's getting a 3 or using a 3 mil to get attention and you need a 4, like, who cares?
Yeah, nobody cares. Yeah.
Literally, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, and, like, that's the thing I always tell people with gauge. Like, okay, it doesn't matter, like, what your gauge is. Like, it does for, like, as soon as you know stuff about, like, what gauge even means, and, like, you can be like, okay, I get this many stitches across and I get this many stitches lengthways, then you can use math. Math is power. Math is power. To figure out, like, what ultimately the size is going to be, right? So there's some patterns that I will actually knit the size above what I want because my gauge is tight.
I think we're now into a whole gauge.
Yeah, sorry.
Well, maybe we'll see that later. Time.
Yeah.
And yes, because I think that's a whole complex lesson.
There's so much interesting stuff there, and I think once you get it, you actually feel more empowered.
Absolutely.
In your knitting.
Absolutely.
Which is really important.
Yeah, and you feel more confident to play around with yarn choices, needle choices, pattern choices, etc. So we'll do a whole segment.
Yes.
On gauge.
Maybe we'll do something with, like, a top-down camera, too. Who knows?
Yeah, I feel like we need Amanda.
Yeah.
She's the gauge queen. Also, Amanda, who's scared of maths. If you call her with a gauge question, her gauge math is...
I feel like Amanda says she's scared of math, and then she pulls out all this math, and I'm like, what?
So, stay in school, kids.
Yeah, exactly.
Especially if you want to be a knitter. Well, I think that's everything for this week.
Yep.
I think, we're going to do a couple more episodes this season, and then we're going to have a break for August, because I'm going on vacation. Yay, vacation.
Yep, if you're in America, or particularly the West Coast, go say hi to Carmen.
Yes, we'll be at Flock in August with Walcott Yarns and our friends Les Garçons. So that's going to be very exciting. We'll be in Seattle. Susan will be with me. And then I'm going to go hang out with my mom.
Yep. Have a proper vacation.
Yes, that'll be very nice.
Yeah.
Probably do some knitting.
Yeah. Yay.
Thank you very much for joining us. Don't forget to like and subscribe and follow along wherever you are listening or watching. And thank you again to Wolf Wines for sponsoring our wine. It's very tasty today.
It is. It's lovely.
Yeah.
See you next time.